Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got 'em for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tire. Ride on our strength. We are so glad you joined us here as we talk sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. And folks, have you ever had one of those days? Well, I think our producer Craig Moore had one of those days. We'll explain that here as we go. Joining me, as is always the case, Ashley Stremme. Ashley. All right, so this goes on to Craig's day, okay? Ashley is in Volusia with David, getting ready to go race. The Dirty Dog, she's down there already. And so Ashley we've known all along she's not going to be here. So with that, let's go to the backup. Let's go to our sprint car driving friend from Connecticut, Aaron Evernham. Aaron, well, no, because Aaron had planned on going to New York City. Her and Ray were going to give a speech today to the Madison Avenue Chowder Society. This is a great, great club and a great opportunity. Ray and Aaron were going to be the first husband and wife team to address the club. Well, snow got in the way there. Aaron said she could make it, but then we haven't been able to get a hold of her this morning. So, exactly, that's what Craiger got this morning. Aaron is probably at the gym doing something worthwhile while Craiger was out back smoking a cigarette. Okay, so let's continue to the bullpen. Our girl, Kendra Jacobs, welcome into Wing Nation. Nope. Kendra, who was slated to be here, had an emergency at work pop up, and unfortunately, Kendra not able to join us. So, what better way to spend a Valentine's Day than all by myself? You're stuck with me. Exactly. It is a solo. The band is back together. No, this is acoustic and solo. Steve Post here. We are glad you joined us. It is MRN Wing Nation. We have a great program lined up for you here. Kerry Madsen going to join us. We're going to talk to the Madman and Taylor McLean with the community relations. She's the community relations manager for the Indiana Donors Network. She is going to join us a little while. She's Brian Clausen's sister, so we'll talk a lot about what they've got going on in memory of Brian. We are glad you joined us, and with that, let's get started. Let's look at the Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery Hot Topics. And the Hot Topics beyond the season got started with All-Star Racing down at Bubba Raceway Park. 3 drivers really stood up and ran up front most of the time. Not a shocker, Donnie Schatz picked up 2 wins along the way. So Donnie Schatz 2016, Donnie Schatz 2015. Donnie, you know what I'm saying here? Well, it's the same Donnie Schatz, it looks like, here in 2017 as he won 2 of the 3 down at Bubba Raceway Park. Kerry Madsen, the Madman, picked up a win, spent a lot of time running up front in the Arctic Cat All-Star races at Bubba. We'll talk to the Madman in just a little bit. Can't wait to see what his perspective is from a new ride and a whole new situation, but same old Kerry at Bubba rolling into victory lane. And how about Tim Schaefer? Finishes of second, and third, driving the Demian Rudsick Racing number 49 car. This team showed a lot of life last year. Toward the end of the year, they really came on strong, won one of the preliminary nights at the Short Track Nationals over at I-30 Speedway, and this team looks really, really fast. You know, you have a good night and run up front. Well, Schaefer had 3 good nights on 3 very different racetracks, and he ran up front all 3 nights, battling it out, nearly winning a couple of the races. So good to see Tim Schaefer and good to see that team running up front. Looks like good things as they focus on the racing in Ohio and see how they fare this year. We'll see how Schaefer, how Kerry Madsen, and how Donnie Schatz do at Volusia this weekend. Those, the Classic Ink Screen Printing and Embroidery Hot Topics, ClassicInkUSA.com. You can go there for great t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, hats, towels, and a whole lot more, not just racing gear, sports, school, other sports that is, school, corporate events, all kinds of things. Classic Ink USA. That's www.classicinkusa.com. Before we get out of here on this first segment, we're going to talk to the Madman, Kerry Madsen. We do want to send our heartfelt condolences to the family of Gil Sonner 82-year-old team owner, ran that famous number 47 car throughout the Midwest and actually spent some time in Pennsylvania and running across the country. We had such a neat story with Jeff Swindell last year at the Knoxville Nationals, putting that car into the A-Main, and we had Jeff on one of our live shows out there, and he talked about Gil, and he just talked about what it meant to be driving for one of the legendary team owners. Tragically, sadly, we lost Gil Saunders, 82 years old, so our thoughts and prayers are with the family, not only the immediate family, but the extended racing family, as we all mourn the loss of the team owner, number 47, Gil Saunders. We do need to step away. When we come back, the madman, Kerry Madsen, he joins us next.
Hi, I'm Rico Aber, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum's newest feature exhibit is our Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell, June 9th through October 15th, at the only museum in the world solely dedicated to sprint car racing, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa. Stop in and check out 8 of Sammy's original race cars and see his trophies, uniforms, and more as you learn about his outstanding career. The Salute to Champion Sammy Swindell is only this season at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville.
Visit Tom Johnson Camping World in Concord for all your race week needs. Race into savings now and save big on over 400 units in stock. America's #1 RV and outdoor retailer has something for everyone. Get race season started at your local NASCAR headquarters with travel trailers starting at only $109 per month. Don't let these savings pass you by. Meet us at Tom Johnson Camping World and save big on your dream RV. STK number 1262508, payments to qualified buyers with approved credit subject to lender terms. Based on statistical surveys 2015. See dealer for full offer details and disclaimers. Offers expire December 30th, 2016.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon, and now back to Wing Nation.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome back. It is MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tire. Ride on our strength. We are so glad that you joined us here. We're trying to dial up the madman, Kerry Madsen. We'll talk to him soon. And a little later on the program, we're going to talk to Taylor McLean. She is with the Indiana Donors Network. She is also Brian Clausen's sister. And what an amazing, amazing tribute to the late Brian Clausen they are doing throughout the year with race cars at the Chili Bowl and throughout the season with Joey Saldana and a whole lot more. So we'll talk to Taylor in just a little bit. Kerry Madsen coming up as well. You know, Kerry drives for the Big Game Motorsports team. That's the team that Todd Quering owns, and Todd has done so much in the sport over the last few years, and we've talked a lot about all of Todd's involvement, and one of his babies, really the one that he has his heart and soul into right now, is the Jackson Motorplex. And you know, they've done a really great job with rebuilding the Jackson Motorplex and reestablishing the Jackson Nationals as one of those marquee races that we have each season, and I can't wait to see what happens. It's going to be the first week of June up there as well. One of the really neat things that Todd Quering is doing up at Jackson Motorplex, along with Doug Johnson as general manager, is they have the Jackson Motorplex Driver Owner Loyalty Travel Bonus. And how this works, and we know race teams, a lot of the expense is fuel getting to racetracks, and particularly when we talk about the Midwest, when we look at Jackson on Friday nights, Knoxville on Saturday, that's a long haul for teams based in Knoxville or for teams based up in the Jackson area. So when you look at it, that is a long way to go. Jackson Motorplex has put an incentive program for teams to commit to racing the 9 410 races there. And basically it's based on your mileage from your race shop to Jackson Motorplex. And how it works is there's just a travel bonus. And if you make all 10 races, you get a travel bonus. If you miss one, you get a little bit less. If you miss 2, you get a little bit less. And then really, if you miss 3 or 4, you're really not considered one of the regulars there as far as the loyalty program goes. So it is the Jackson Motorplex driver-only loyalty program. But for instance, if you compete and you're more than 500 miles away and you compete each of the 9 races, at the end of the year, there's a $3,100 bonus for you there for the loyalty program. So I really like a lot of the initiatives, and I think Todd, looking at this from the team owner perspective, but also looking at it from the track operator perspective, and knowing that they're in the Midwest where you have a long distance between the premier Saturday night track at Knoxville and the premier Friday night track at Jackson put this into play. And why we mention this now, of course, this is something that will start off. They start on Friday, May 12th. Why we mention this now is drivers and teams, if you're in the Midwest and you plan on running Jackson, you need to sign up for it now. Tomorrow is the deadline. Tomorrow is the deadline for this. And so consequently, you need to sign up for the Jackson Motorplex Driver Owner Loyalty Bonus Program. You need to sign up, and you just go to the Jackson Motorplex website and sign up for it now. So teams in the Midwest, if you plan on running Jackson, there's no cost to do it. And basically, you sign up for it now, get on the deal, and then as long as you run most of the events up at the Jackson Motorplex, you can get it. There's even less than 100 miles. There's a bonus in it as well. So whoever's competing at Jackson on a regular basis, you need to go on the Jackson Motorplex page and sign up for the loyalty program. Great stuff from our friends up there, to Doug Johnson, General Manager, and from Todd Quering. Let's go to the guest line. Joining us now, she is the Community Relations Manager from the Indiana Donors Network. Taylor McLean joins us. Hello, Taylor. Welcome to Wing Nation.
Yeah, hi, Steve. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you? I guess first and foremost, and we mentioned you are a sister to the late Brian Clausen. How are you, Clausen? How are you? How is the family? How is everyone doing?
Yeah, we are. Thank you for mentioning that. We are doing really well. We've had a lot of support from the racing community, which has helped a ton. And, we're taking it a day at a time, but we're doing good. And we know Brian's with us everywhere we go. So that's very comforting.
I cannot imagine what it is like to feel this racing community embrace you. We saw it in Knoxville with the Knoxville Nationals, which was in the immediate moments after. But even you get into the off season and then the big Chili Bowl events, you guys, you got to feel like you have maybe the biggest family on planet Earth.
No, it's amazing. Every day we're in awe, really, of the support that we've received. And, we've always said the racing family is the best, but this has definitely proved it to us. When there's a time of need or tragedy, they're always there for you. And we can't thank all of the fans, the drivers, the media. Everybody has just wrapped their arms around our family. And it's really helped us get through one of the darkest days of our lives.
I can only imagine. I really can. And yet from that, this absolutely amazing program that you have developed, and we'll talk a little bit about the program here in just a moment, but really even in your brother's passing, 5 lives were touched and potentially saved actually with organ donors, and other lives through tissue donors. That's absolutely amazing to me how even in a terrible situation, terrible for the Clausen family, there are 5 other families and multiple other families that this turned out to be life-saving.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that we definitely thought about. My dad mentioned it to us when we were in the hospital with Brian, saying our last goodbyes. We were kind of just all gathered around him, holding his hand and just really sitting there, being in the moment with him. And he spoke up and he said, you realize there's 5 other families right now that are gathering around their loved one, really, really thanking our family for Brian's gift. And that really did bring a light to our family that we didn't have before. So it's been an amazing blessing. And it's been something positive that's come out of something so negative.
You're right. You think about your time in the hospital with Brian, those last few hours, those last few moments, and yet you're right. Mm-hmm. In other hospital rooms across the area, there was 5 families with a glimmer of hope, and that's an absolutely beautiful story. When did Brian become a donor? Was it something that he just signed up for? How conscious he was? Were you involved with the Indiana donor program prior to that? How did that all happen that Brian got on the donor list?
Yeah, so I think it was a decision that he made when he went to the BMV. I know Lauren, his fiance, tells the story that they went to go renew their licenses on one of the days when they were actually home, not at a racetrack. And they went into the BMV, and he came out and he said, "Hey, Elle, did you check that box about being a donor?" And she said, "Well, yeah, I always have." And he said, "Okay, me too." And that's as far as it really went with him. And, we weren't involved with the Indiana Donor Network before his accident, just because we didn't really know. And until you're in that situation, you don't realize the life-saving impact that it can have and the life-enhancing impact that it can have on people. So it wasn't really something that we were that aware of, but now that we've gone through what we have, I'm so glad that he did check that box because it really saved our family.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And I know I've sat there and faced that decision, and actually I'm in driver renewer license this year, and I'll be honest with you, in all candor, I don't know. I believe I checked the box in the past. I know I'm checking the box now, and I think really, Taylor, is that kind of the message we're sending now with your continued involvement with not only what you guys did with Clausen Marshall at the Chili Bowl, but with Stenhouse Junior Wood Racing with Joey Saldana? Is that really the message we're taking forward now?
Yeah, we just really want to educate as many people as we can. There's a lot of misconceptions out there about donation and transplantation, and what our family went through is something very unique. And like I said, it put a positive spin on a tragedy. And I know Brian's really proud of what we're doing with this whole Driven to Save Lives program, and he would be so proud of everybody getting behind it. And again, that's just a testament to how awesome the racing community is. When a family's hurting or when there's an initiative that has helped a family, they get behind it 100%. And the outreach that we've received at Indiana Donor Network from fans and drivers and racetracks and promoters has been absolutely inspiring. And it just amazes me every day that I always knew Brian was cool and he was awesome, but he was my brother. You don't realize that your brother is actually a hero to a lot of people, and really opened our eyes and made this deal pretty cool.
I can only imagine. You'd sent some information, and it just boggles my mind. Each day, 22 people on average in the United States die because a donated organ wasn't made available in time. That's 22 people today. February 14th, that's 22 people on average tomorrow. It's absolutely amazing. And we mentioned a little bit, you had quite the team put together at the Chili Bowl, and you have an incredible super team on the World of Outlaw Tour with Joey Saldana driving it, with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Matt Wood putting it together. Not only a great cause, but as a racer, and as Brian was a racer, a pretty good group of racers have gathered together for this as well.
Yeah. We just want to capture Brian's spirit in everything that we're doing, and these guys that we have behind the campaign and that are promoting it, at all the various dirt tracks and really across the country. They are what Brian would want. They are the types of racers that Brian loved to race with. They are the type of people that Brian really tried to embody. Joey, he was one of Brian's heroes on the wing side of things, and he loved Joey. And I remember when he got they traded helmets one day, and it was a really proud moment for him. He loved Joey and his family, and so we just, the racers that we are really getting involved with this campaign are people that Brian really liked, and they're the type of racers that he thought would propel the sport to what he wanted it to be.
Amazing stuff. It really, truly is, Taylor. Where can people find information? Where's the best source of information, and where they can check off what they need to do and make sure they're supporting the program?
Yeah, if you go to Driven to, that's the number 2, savelives.org, you'll find all the information about the campaign. We'll have information about what tracks that we'll be at throughout the year. You can get your Be Like Brian t-shirts, and you can also register, most importantly, register your donation decision there as well. And that is linked to the National Registry, so you will be covered on all bases there. And we look forward to seeing fans at dirt tracks. We look forward to seeing them at Knoxville. We're going to be everywhere and anywhere that Brian would want to be.
Unreal. It really is. Out of such tragedy becomes such a blessing to so many people, and I salute you, Taylor, and really your entire family as you've taken this terrible situation and you've turned it into some beautiful stories across the country, and that will continue on and will continue on as long as sprint car fans continue to sign in and sign up and continue to make a difference. We appreciate your time joining us. Again, it's driven to the number savelives.org. That's driven to savelives.org. Of course, you're on Twitter and Facebook and all the other social medias. Taylor, Thanks so much for joining us, and continued success with your operation there. And just let the family know we're still, thoughts and prayers are still with you as you continue through the process, but we appreciate your time here today.
Well, thank you, and I just also wanted to say thank you to all the fans and drivers out there who have supported our family through a tough situation, and we'll keep racing on for Brian.
Racing on for Brian. Boy, I'm telling you what, and there was a racer right there. That's Taylor McLean joining us. Taylor, thank you. And Taylor McLean, Community Relations Manager for the Indiana Donors Network. What a great, great program they have. And folks, I can't imagine why you would not want to get involved with this program and support it and be like Brian. Get one of those t-shirts as well. They sound really good. They'll be at a racetrack near you this season. We do need to step away because another guy that will be at a racetrack near you and potentially a victory lane near you is the Madman, Kerry Madsen, and he joins us next.
Watch MRN's Wing Nation with Steve Post and Ashley Stremme on MAV TV, Saturdays at 9:30 and 12:30 Eastern.
Only the best go 3 abreast, and they're coming to a track near you in 2017. No matter where you're at, the American Sprint Car Series is near you. From the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, presented by the MAV TV Motorsports Network, to any of the 7 ASCS regional tours, there's over 150 nights of racing to choose from in 2017. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates. Listen live on RacingBoys.com and get the full rundown at ASCSRacing.com.
Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery is constantly testing the limits of custom racewear and specialized embroidery. Headquartered in Western Pennsylvania, Classic Ink holds the highest standard, maximizing your return as well as the ultimate customer satisfaction. From track swag fanwear to quick crew wear, Classic Ink has you covered. Their dedicated staff and designers will keep your race team and fans looking sharp. Contact Classic Ink today and get your team ahead of the competition. www.classicinkusa.com. That's Classic Ink, at the track and on your back.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Hi, I'm Rico Aber, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It is MRN Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tire. Ride on our strength. Great, great supporter of ours. We appreciate them. I can't wait to see what happens with Greg Wilson out on the tour as well. I am telling you what, when we go to Bubba Raceway Park at the beginning of the year, a lot of times it's the Kerry Madsen show, and we learned this year it didn't matter what number car he was in, he could still park it in victory lane. And he joins us now on the guest line. Hello, Kerry. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hi, mate. How's it going?
I'm going really well. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Well, that's good. Kerry, you know, I mean, you a lot of changes with you, with a new team, getting involved with Todd Quering, with Guy Forbrook over there with the big game tree stand team. Has to be comforting. I mean, I know you're a great driver. You know you can wheel the car. You know that they put out good equipment. But it has to be really, really satisfying when it all comes together on the racetrack and you're able to run up front and win a race.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous going into it, but, you know, those things can go either way, and it just mightn't work or might be really good. But, you know, we did practice or test on the Tuesday night, and as soon as I got in it, the thing was a rocket ship. So started feeling pretty comfortable pretty quick, and it was a pretty nice car, and it just seemed like I could get super aggressive straight out of the bat, so that was cool.
From the nuts and bolts, chassis, engine, that sort of thing, is it comparable to something you've driven in the past, or are they on such a different program? There was a lot of newness to it.
The engine program's from the same builder, so the engine program was close.
Mm-hmm.
Maxim chassis, so they're obviously industry standard, so I wasn't too worried about that. And you know, he's on a bit of a different shock program with Penske shocks and wings and whatnot. But you know, as a driver, you just can't get too wrapped up in technicalities sometimes when you got a top-notch mechanic like Guy Forbrook. You know the thing is going to be fast, so you just got to get in there and drive it, and more I just want to work on the level of communication. So what I'm feeling, I can and give him good feedback.
You know, Kerry, you've been around and around the Midwest and around this sport for quite some time. Guy Forbrook has been around forever in this sport. When you have a guy that has been around and you've competed against so long and so often, what is the dynamic of, hey, we're now going to work together? How does that change things? And again, it's confused even more by you spent a lot of time in Australia during the off season. How did that binding with you and Guy Forbrook work?
Oh, look, I don't know.
Yeah.
Still trying to get, it takes a while for me to really get comfortable with people. So I feel like, we're on the same page, and obviously as the year goes on, we should hopefully get along, get to know each other a little better. But I don't know, it's professional, man, and I just wanted to come in there and be a pro and just do my job. And it's easier, or it's a lot more relaxing, and you can focus on your job when you're jumping in a fast race car and everything's right. So you got to drive it. You're not in there trying to go, well, maybe if we should try and send the program in this way, or do we need to try this? Just get in and drive it. It's a fast car, so it makes life a lot easier.
I guess, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It really does, and that in that comfort level with knowing what you have there. I cannot imagine, Kerry, and we've talked about this sport over the last few years, and face it, there's one guy that has just really been absolutely excellent across the board, and that's Donnie Schatz. What is that like late in a race where it strikes you that you're not only racing with Donnie Schatz, but at that point you have a better race car for him? How do you stay focused on hitting your marks and doing things, knowing that you're getting ready to take one off from the guy that arguably right now is the best that we have? What's that like in the waning laps on Saturday night as you're closing in on him and ready to gobble him up?
Well, I wouldn't say it's arguably the one of the best. It's probably, I don't mean to argue about that, but fortunately, I really love racing Donnie. I love racing. I've always loved the challenge of things that are better than me. So you just put your head down and focus. And I thought he got out to an early lead, and I'm like, well, it's still all about getting good finishes and maximising what you can do. But we got through, and the car was getting faster, and he was coming back. So just knuckle down, hit your marks, and obviously you're only going to get one shot with Donnie pretty much, and he can change his line pretty quick. So just try and focus and make sure when you get your shot, you can make a pretty clean, crisp move.
You did? And
yeah, I don't know.
That's cool. That is so cool. I mean, it was so much fun to watch. It really was. Kerry, when we look at 2017, have you guys penciled out a schedule? What's the game plan? What are some of the high water marks that you guys plan on doing this year?
I mean, obviously we're going to do all the big races, and everything will be based around that. Our next race after that, we're doing Volusia this week, and we'll be at Vegas. And we're going to do a lot of the outlaw stuff around the Midwest, and obviously Jackson Motorplex, we'll be doing that a lot whenever it's on. And obviously we'll be hitting some shows at Knoxville as well. So we don't really have a super hard schedule at the moment. And obviously if everything going well, we'll be out racing, or if we need to come home and regroup here and there, we will. So it makes it fun. When you can race like that makes it fun. You just get to, you're not worried about points or hard schedules or anything. You just go out and enjoy it, and just excited to be with it. Todd and Guy got a pretty good little program going here, and hopefully we can keep this up.
It's really cool. It really, truly is. Oh, by the way, before we cut you loose here, and we are about at the end of our time, congratulations. A lot of success down under. Again, the Australian champion. Has to be a lot of pride to carry that flag with yourself as well after another good summer season down under.
Yeah, I didn't want to give that up, so it was good to get it again. And we had a really great season in Australia. We won the Australian Open and the Australian title, and was on the podium every night except for one or two occasions. So really quick down there, and the race in Australia is coming along so well, and it just gets harder and harder. And we're averaging 70 cars a night at some of these places, and it's crazy. So I'm going back down for the World Series final in a week's time to finish up with the Canary thing for the 17 Australian commitment. So, but it's I don't know. I just feel like the sport's just booming everywhere you go. More cars, more excitement. So it's great to see.
Good time to be in sprint car racing, that's for sure, and a good time for you. Parked it in Victory Lane at Bubba Raceway Park and looking for more success this week at Volusia and on throughout Kerry. Again, thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us, and I know we'll talk to you at the racetrack, and I know we'll talk to you here on Wing Nation throughout the course of the year. Thanks again.
All right, mate.
There we go. The madman, Kerry Madsen, joining us, and he will be coming to a Victory Lane near you. I think you can pretty much bank on that. That's going to be an awful good team across the board. We need to step away. More MRN Wing Nation in just a moment.
I'm Shane Stewart, and you're listening to Wing Nation on MotorRacingNetwork.com.
50 years. That's how long Weld Wheels has been the undisputed leader in maximum performance wheels. From Knoxville to the U.S. Nationals, Weld Wheels has dominated all levels of oval track and drag racing. Weld Wheels have produced the unleashed potential of all types of machines. Weld Wheels are found on the highest performing cars, trucks, and race machines because of our quality and engineering excellence. Unleash the performance of your ride with Weld Wheels, made in the USA. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
I'm Kyle Larson, and now I'm Kyle Larson. Now back to Wing Nation with Stephen Kendra. I'm Kyle Larson. Now back to Wing Nation with Stephen Kendra.
Took a couple of takes, but Kyle Larson got it, and we are glad that you have joined us here on MRN Wing Nation. It is time to look at our National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum birthday calendar. Sunday, Kevin Doty, and would have been the birthday of Dick Toby Tobias. Monday, yesterday, the birthday of Steve Smith. Friday, we've got Myron Stevens. Saturday, Jim McElreath. But when we look at today's birthday list, Joe Jagersberger. But how about this? And this is one of those, never heard of him before. And you know, I've talked to you, I've shared with you that I'm the new kid around here. Kendra and Ashley and Aaron all spent a lot more time around sprint car tracks than I have. So when I see the name Bayless Leverett, okay, I have no idea what that means, but that's the beauty of the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Bayless is a 2007 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Born in Jacksonville, Florida, family moved to California when he was a kid, and he raced sprint cars in the West Coast and the Midwest through the 30s up until World War II. And again, we live in such a different time when the world stopped when World War II hit and all racing stopped. So he raced up until World War II and then continued on after the war in the late 40s into the early 50s. And this guy, man, he was a true outlaw. Whether it was AAA, Auto Club of America, or IMCA, or independent races, it didn't matter. He had no loyalty other to himself and to go win races, and he certainly did that and scored a number of victories. Had 2 Indy 500 starts and did that, and he retired in 1952 after a practice crash at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and lived 88 years before dying in 2002 to Alzheimer's disease, or the complications from Alzheimer's disease. Bayless Leverett, one of the great Hall of Famers from the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, part of the memories shared over in turn number 2 at the Knoxville Speedway. SprintCarHof.com, that's www.SprintCarHof.com. Big weekend coming up. The World of Outlaws kick it off on Friday night. Of course, the All-Stars are down at Volusia on Wednesday and Thursday, but you can capture all the action from Volusia at dirtvision.com. That's www.dirtvision.com. We have a busy week coming up here on MRN Wing Nation. Our Thursday podcast, MRN Wing Nation Weekend, presented by Hepner Racing Products. We have got Brad Sweet joining us, the big cat, going to be in the house. And on Saturday, MRN Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. Brad Doty going to join us, and I promise you, Kendra will be my co-host for that one. So Kendra Jacobs, Brad Doty, you're going to want to hear what Brad Doty has to offer on Saturday. That's at 9:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's over on MAV TV. So great stuff today, and really good stuff. You can follow us on Twitter at Wing Nation and on Facebook at facebook.com/Wing Nation. Thanks to Kerry Madsen. Thanks to Taylor McLean for joining us. But more important than all of that, thank you for joining us here today.
You've been listening to Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tire. Ride on our strength. You can also find Winged Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.